Have you ever had one of those moments, where years and years of struggle just poof, vanish, and all that's left is this feeling of pure, absolute triumph? Well, today we're going to dive into how one man, over 1,000 years ago, managed to bottle that exact feeling in a poem that still hits you with the same power today.
No, really, think about it for a second. All the hard work, the self-doubt, every single failure, all of it suddenly paying off. It's not just happiness, right? It's a release. It's a feeling that is so hard to actually put into words.
And yet, one poet did it. His name was Meng Jiao, and back in China's legendary Tang Dynasty, he wrote this tiny little poem, just 28 characters, that perfectly captured that lightning in a bottle. It's so much more than a poem. It's basically a blueprint for expressing pure victory.
But here's the thing. To really get the incredible joy in his words, you first have to understand the decades of pain that came before it. This isn't just some happy little poem. Oh no, this is a poem that was born from some serious, profound struggle. Yeah, Meng Jiao he wasn't exactly known for his sunny disposition. He was born into poverty, and his whole literary reputation basically mirrored his life. His friends and colleagues actually called him the poetry prisoner, which is just, wow. It's like he was literally trapped by his own bleak writing. His style was even described as suburban cold, island thin, a phrase that just perfectly paints this picture of desolate, lonely hardship. His poems, all about poverty, frustration, and bitterness.
So what was the cause of all this misery? Well, for Meng Jiao and so many others like him, it all came down to this one thing, the Imperial Examination. And you have to understand, this was not just a test. In Tang, China, this was everything. It was the only way you could get a respectable career, social status, the only real path out of poverty. Your entire life, your whole future, was riding on passing this thing. The pressure was just immense.
And for our guide Meng Jiao, this journey was long and it was painful. He was born in 751. He tried to pass the exam, and he failed. So he tried again, and he failed again. For decades, he lived with that constant feeling of rejection. It wasn't until the year 796, when he was 46 years old, that he finally passed. 46! Can you even imagine the weight that must have lifted off his shoulders in that one single moment?
And that's the exact moment he decided to write about. He called his poem, simply enough, After Passing the Imperial Examination. He basically poured a lifetime of relief, of pure shock and joy into 4 perfect lines. So let's break them down one by one.
He starts, fittingly, with the past. Listen to the original Chinese, it's beautiful. 昔日我trouble不足夸. Now, the English interpretation. The squalor of the past is not worth mentioning now. The real power here is in his word choice. That word 我qiu literally means dirty or filthy. He's using it to describe his entire life up to this point, all the poverty, every failure. And then, with bu tsu kwa, not worth mentioning, he just sweeps it all away. Gone. In one line, decades of pain are just dismissed. That is an incredible act of liberation.
Then we get the second line, and it's a complete 180-degree turn to the present moment. In Chinese, Jin Jiao Fang Dong Si Wu Ya, and in English, Today my free spirit wanders without bounds.
And that contrast is just stunning. He goes from the former days of the past to this morning. The change is immediate, it's absolute. And the word feng dong is so important here. It doesn't mean wild or reckless. It means unfettered, completely and totally free. His mind, which was once trapped, now has thoughts without limits. His entire future just exploded with possibilities.
Okay, so the third line is the most famous one. This is the absolute emotional peak of the poem. It's just pure energy. Listen. 春风得意马蹄疾. In the spring breeze, triumphant, my horse's hooves fly fast.
This is where his inner feeling just brilliantly spills out into the physical world. The spring breeze isn't just about the weather, it's the wind of good fortune, finally at his back. And that phrase, dei, that is the heart of it all. It's that deep satisfaction you feel when everything is finally going your way. And his horse's hooves, they aren't just fast, they're the physical manifestation of his soaring spirit. He feels so triumphant that the horse itself seems like it's flying.
And he closes with this gorgeous, joyful exaggeration. 一日看尽长安花. In a single day, I have seen all the flowers of Chang'an.
Now, of course, this is literally impossible, right? Nobody could see every single flower in the massive capital city of Chang'an in just one day. But that's the whole point. He feels so ecstatic, so powerful, that the impossible suddenly feels possible. His success didn't just change his job prospects, it fundamentally changed how he sees the entire world. All of a sudden, everything is beautiful, it's vibrant, and it's all within his reach.
You know, the story doesn't even end with the poem. This intensely personal piece of writing had a huge public impact. It didn't just describe a feeling. It actually created new language to talk about that feeling. Language that people still use all the time today.
It's incredible. 2 common Chinese idioms, what they call chengyu, were born directly from this one poem. Chunfeng Dei is lifted straight out of that third line, and today it means to be flushed with success. You know, when everything is going your way. The other one, So Ma Guanhua, literally viewing flowers from horseback, comes from those last 2 lines. Today, it means to get a pretty superficial look at something. You know, exactly what you'd do if you were flying by on a triumphant horse.
In the end, the reason Meng Jiao's poem has stuck around for 1,200 years isn't just because it's clever. It's because it taps into something so deeply, so universally human. It's this powerful reminder that behind every great success, there's often a long, hard struggle. And the joy that comes from finally conquering that struggle is one of the most powerful feelings we can ever have.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought for you. We've all had those moments, big or small, where the world suddenly just cracks wide open after a long fight. A graduation, landing a new job, finishing a really tough project. So, the question for you is, when was your moment of triumph? When was your day of seeing all the flowers?